It's I think it's exciting where he is at this point too. But obviously, we're not going to talk too much about it. I mean, I think you start overthinking things like that, it doesn't help you out. So I think the biggest thing for him is just keep playing the way he's playing and see what happens. But I mean, just so far, anyways, it's been exciting to see what he's been able to do this year.
And just you're finishing the schedule here. You got 7 games in 14 days, I think, or something like that. It's going to be really busy. I just want to ask you how you manage to try and prepare for the postseason and getting some rest for the postseason. Like, you want to go in fresh, but you also want to go in sharp. How do you walk that fine line?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the way that it's kind of worked out that with a couple COVID breaks this year. I mean, obviously we've got a pretty tight schedule finishing up the season here, but I think that might help us out. Like you said, you want to come in sharp. You want to be playing your best hockey at the end of the year, gearing up for the playoffs. So I think we have a good chance to do that. As far as rest and stuff goes, I mean, this is what we've been dealing with all year, and we found a way to manage it. So just got to keep the same attitude there.
Thank you. If there are no more questions, this concludes Ryan Nugent-Hopkins' media availability. Please stay tuned for Jujar Khaira. Jujar Khaira. Again, if you have questions, please use the raise hand function. Start with Reed Wilkins, 6:30 Chad.
Hi, Jujar. Good to have you back. The play against Montreal a couple of weeks ago, I know you got hit along the boards, but Tip mentioned something might have happened before that might have thrown you off a little bit. Can you take us back to that play?
Yeah, possibly. I tried to make a hit, and I believe I missed him. And looking back at the video, it looked like my head just kind of banged the glass. But I mean, at that time, I didn't think too much of it or anything. It was a play that I've gone through before, and I think it could have played a part in it, and it could have not. I don't think there's an answer for sure on that one.
So tell me what the last couple of weeks have been like, because I think the team's always said you're day to day, but sometimes that I'm sure you can drag on. So what has the day to day been like to finally reach this point?
Yeah, it's just been at this point just skating, getting my workouts in, skating, and just taking care of the body. Nothing more to it. It's just kind of recovering and working on stuff. I mean, I don't think you get to work on while you're playing this many games. So for myself, just on the ice, I've been working on certain skill sets that I've had a little bit more time than when I was in the lineup. So yeah, just kind of working to get back and being ready for my next chance.
All right, and on the verge of clinching a playoff spot, tell me, for you, I know you played some years here too where the team also wasn't in. You've been in and out throughout your career. What does it mean to you to have that opportunity this evening?
Yeah, it's awesome. This is our first goal, I think, coming into the year, is getting into the playoffs and solidifying a spot here tonight. I think it would be huge for the group. It's definitely a confidence builder, and it shows that the hard work we put in this year has paid off. And now it's just kind of focusing on tonight's game and trying to get that check mark next to our name, and then just building and being ready for that first game.
Rob Shkowski, Post Media.
Hi, Jujar. How concerning is it for you personally just to be woozy after an incident like that in Montreal? Do you worry that you came back too soon, or that these things are happening too easily? Where's your comfort level at?
Comfort level is 100%. Even at that time, it's one of those things where, yeah, definitely got my bell rung. But by the time I was in the tunnel, I felt back to normal pretty quickly. So, confidence-wise and comfort level, it's 100% right now. It's more so the frustrating thing was, not being able to play, and for myself, it wasn't worrying about that, but it was just focusing day by day to get back as soon as possible.
So what kind of tests do they run over the last week or so that they're confident and you can return? And do you need, when you come back, to kind of prove to yourself, get a couple of good licks in, and just to say, okay, I'm fine?
The testing is just like battles in practice, stuff like that. Especially at this point, it's just day in and day out, just how comfortable I feel, and I never had a problem with that at all. And yeah, I think for sure, getting into any game, if it's a game coming back from an injury or not, I think it's always nice to get a couple licks in and see where your game's at, and then just build shift by shift from there.
Thanks.
Eric Van Diest, Post Media.
Hey, Jujar, good to see you again. I just want to ask you about these 7 games here. How do you kind of prepare to get back up to playoff speed with these 7 games? Is this something that is a good thing that you have these games available, or would you rather they be a bit more spread out? Or in your case, how are you feeling about the end of the season?
Yeah, for myself, the schedule is what it is. I'm not too worried about it, but for me, it's just, like I said, shift by shift, going out there and building off that. I have confidence coming in, and there's really nothing more that I can ask for. It's one of those things where I don't think I'm not at the level to play. I've been practicing hard, working on everything, and I haven't overthought anything or looked too far into the future. It's just today I found out I was playing, and now it's just the excitement to go play and just build my game by game, and that's where my mindset's at right now.
And you were playing pretty good hockey when you got hurt the first time, came back, played pretty good hockey, you got hurt the second time. Do you feel that, you can get back to that level quickly playing that the hockey that you were playing before?
I do, for sure. I think, I still have the same plan in place for how I want to play. I've done everything for my body and to be ready for this point. So now it's just, following that plan that I've been following for the season, and, getting there right away as fast as possible.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Jujar, you're back with Neil and Chase on. You guys in the bubble last year were very successful as a trio. I know that's a long time ago, but just talk about why you think your line worked then and why you could maybe work it now again.
Yeah, I think, all of us, we enjoy playing with each other, and, 3 big bodies on the line, we keep it pretty simple out there, get pucks in, and, get on the body, and that creates room for us. And that's what we're going to try to get back to tonight. And yeah, it's been a while since we played together, but, I have confidence in those two, and that we can get back there right away. So it's definitely exciting to play with those guys again.
And just for you personally, I know you talk about it a lot. You don't have any fear at all when you come back on the ice. What about going through all this stuff? That's two situations where you looked a little bit wobbly leaving the ice. What do you go through to ensure that you are as close to ready and that won't happen again?
Yeah, it's like you said, it's two situations. But if you look at, I mean, if I look at my whole life, my whole hockey career, I think these are the first two incidences that I've ever had. So, you know, I know this stuff happens. I've seen it happen to other guys, and now it was my turn to, I guess, be in that situation. And you know, I've seen guys bounce back. I've seen the work they put in to get back, and you know, I just try to follow that. And you know, for myself, it's just like I said, building confidence day by day, and to get me to this point. And now it's excitement that I have to get back tonight.
Thanks, Jujar.
Thanks.
Thank you. If there are no more questions, this concludes Jujar Khaira's media availability. Please stay tuned for Dave Tippett. Again, if you have questions, please use the raise hand function. Start with Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Dave, you're going with Mikko Koskinen tonight. You mentioned yesterday you want to get him in a few more games. Or are we thinking like 3 or 4? How do you balance the rest Smith but ensure that he's sharp for the playoffs?
They'll both get enough time. Dustin Schwartz and I have sat down, kind of gone through it, where we think we'll maximize both guys with work and rest, and you know, we'll just take it game by game. But we have a plan in place to make sure they both get enough to down the stretch here.
You want to win these games, obviously. Home ice benefits you, but you're also trying a few different things. That's the luxury of where you're at in the standings. Is there? You've been around long enough, Dave. Is there kind of a fine line? Like, what are you looking for in these different combinations down the stretch? Like, obviously, you went Khaira back with Neil and Chase on from last year's playoffs. What are you maybe looking from the second and third lines?
Well, there's different parts of it. There's special teams come into play, the rhythm of your lineup, the balance of your lineup, trying to see players in different situations, see how they mesh. So, you know, there's different factors that go into it, whether we play Draisaitl and McDavid on the same line. You know, young McLeod keeps expanding the role a little bit. I got him with Archibald tonight, where we'd like to see him in some penalty killing role tonight. So there's some different things that we look at, and you know, we've got like we're pushing. Our team has to continue to improve every day, and there's parts of our game that we're going to stress and every day that we have to continue to improve, and so that's the mindset. You have combinations. You look at the rhythm of your lineup, what people are doing for your lineup, but how you're playing is what we're really concentrating on right now to make sure our game's in order.
When you
Go ahead, Jason.
oh, sorry. Your defense core, Dave, are you looking at wanting to get other guys a game or two here? You know, a guy like Cuckoo hasn't played in a long time. Maybe Evan Bouchard, just 1 or 2 games from those guys down the stretch, just in case you get injuries.
Cuckoo's not he's not cleared to play yet. He's I would say at least he's at least over a week away playing. Bouchard, we've had some conversations about. We'll see how that goes here down the stretch.
Reed Wilkins, 630 Ched.
Hi, Dave. I want to ask you a question about Dominic Cahoon, who, you know, I would say has fairly modest stats, perhaps given where he's been able to play. Where do you think his game is at, and where would you like him to get to as we roll into the postseason?
He's a compliment player. He's a shifty guy. He's got good speed, makes good plays, can play off of people, so it's, we've kind of bounced him around a little bit in the lineup here and there, but he's a smart enough player and a quick enough player to keep things alive. That being said, he's one of the guys that you'd like to see a little more production out of.
And in any of your pregame discussions with the team today, do you reference clinching a playoff spot, or do you leave that alone?
No, we talked about, we want to put that X beside our name. That's the first step of the next part of the season. So we're well aware of what we have to do.
Thank you.
Eric Van Diest, Post Media.
Hey, Dave. I know you obviously trust a lot in the doctors and the trainers when it comes to the situation with Jujar. In the back of your head, is there any concern when he comes back, especially the way the last concussion kind of happened?
Well, you're concerned from all your players all the time, but I've made sure the doctors and the neurologists, everybody, like we've kept them out a few extra days here to make sure that everything's in place. He's had some hard practices. There's and talking to the doctors and talking to TD this morning, they have zero hesitation in him playing. And I felt we needed to get to that point before we needed to play him again. But he's been anxious to play for 3 or 4 days now. So, he's been totally cleared by all the professionals. So you have to take their opinion on it. And he's anxious to jump back in.
And with this heavy kind of schedule down the stretch here, the 7 games and 14 nights, once you clinch, would you be looking to maybe, back off somewhat on the ice time of McDavid and Draisaitl and some of your bigger minutes, guys that log heavier minutes?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. As we're moving along here, we got to make sure our team is playing at a level we need to play at. You can't back off your game and then expect to just pick it up again 2 weeks from now. So we'll continue to make sure our team is trying to push forward here. Now, that being said, there is some times where you got some. Today we got both Haas and Shore are a little banged up today, so we can gives us the ability to make sure that they take care of their injuries. We need everybody healthy and rested as well as we can going into the playoffs.
Evan Woodley, NHL.com.
Yeah, hi, Dave. Just curious, in those discussions in terms of resting goaltenders and splitting their load, would you consider playing Al as a backup? I mean, we've seen some teams around the league, backing up isn't a complete night off. Do you consider giving the other guy a complete night off and using Al in that role at any point?
Well, we like to talk about the rhythm of our team, rhythm of our lineup, and those are our 2 guys. They want to be involved in every game. If we got to a situation where Smith or Koskinen is maybe battling a small injury or something like that, we felt like we needed the extra day, we might look at that. But as of right now, we like both our guys to be involved in every game.
is that something you talk with them about as well? Like, I'm guessing it's not for a guy like Mike Smith, that's probably a non-starter. He wants to be in there. And is it also a statement about how important he is to your room?
He's an important guy in our leadership group, and his presence around, whether he's playing or not playing, is something that is much appreciated by our team.
Thank you.
Other questions, media? Thank you. This concludes Dave Tippett's media availability.